presenters.
Okay,
How
so
many
we knew
total
this one
binders
was
did the planner put together for attendees and presenters? So this is
add this together.
simple addition. We have 280 plus 31.
Sorry, 1.
0 plus 1 is 1.
11.
8 plus
1,
3 is 8.
and
9, 10,
2,
11.
so it's A.
So we're going to drop
right?
down a 1 and carry a 1.
Oh, no, 3. So
and
C.
2 plus 1 is 3. So we can see that this one is going to be C311.
You'll be writing it down.
All
I'll be
right.
using my calculator.
Number 5 says a
You knew that was this
store-stocked
one.
150
So this is
cans of
another good
popcorn
one.
for a weekend sale. D is very close to 70. I'm going to look to okay, and a 0 can technically bring down.
It's not so
Now
hard.
the question is, how many times does
Now, again,
25 go into 200?
they evenly go into this
24
and 24
times,
and 50.
Therefore, 25 goes into 200 8 times. 25 times
Maybe it was
8
3.
is going to be 200. 200 minus 200 is 0.
Why?
So we can see that this is 0.48.
Oh, we're trying to find
which
the
is
percentage
same
of
as
what's sold.
48%.
Popcorn of the weekend,
so that's
sale,
that
the
one.
weekend. What can you do? What
Let's go
percentage?
ahead and
Okay,
move on.
all right. I'll give you that one. That one's a fair, but you can work that one
Number
out. That's
6
sensible.
says,
It makes sense.
What number in the list above has the greatest value? Okay? So right off the
So
bat,
we know these two
we
aren't.
should realize that
These are gone just by virtue of this
numbers
being on here.
such as 0.199
This
are going to
is
be
this is
very
a smaller
small
number. You'd say
since
3
they
over
have
4 is a
no
quarter, right?
whole value
0.75.
here. So this isn't it. 10 over 12. 10 over 12 is very easy to reduce. If I divide 10 by
It's only 1, and you have a 2
and 12 by 2,
because this would be 20
this is 5
instead of
over
12.
6. This isn't even greater than 1. Again, if this was 1, it would be 6 over 6. So this is less than 1. We have 2.28,
Well, I
which
get
is
it.
greater
It makes
than
sense.
1, so it's greater than
you got to
both
tell
of these.
fractions out of here.
That said, we have
Why
this
are you getting? I mean,
8/3,
in
and
what
we
job
want to figure out if 8/3
would
is
your
bigger than
person, your
2.28.
private,
So,
or your sergeant,
we have
your lieutenant, your
8/3,
general
and how can we
give you a
compare this to this
homogenized nature
decimal?
of, well, all
Well,
of these things are the same thing.
We can
This one's
perform
in
long
Greek,
division
this one's in
to
Latin,
convert
this
fraction into
in
decimal.
cuneiform.
That is to say, we can do 8,
And they're all the same number, or
divided by
they're roughly
3.
a whole number.
and now we're asking
And they're in
ourselves, how many
cuneiform.
times does 3 go into 8 without going over? That's going to be
You would imagine, how do I write
6,
notes? Well, the processes of what I'm doing in the stone mill or in a log
Again,
factory,
we can write
in my own house,
decimal
making a
and
hillbilly
zero
spinner.
placeholders over here, and we can put as many zeros as we think
I have
we need.
4 different parts
Once
of my
we add that
operation,
decimal, we bring it up
and
right
I have
here,
2 of them
and we
where
can
they're in
drop
whole
down one of
numbers.
our free zeros,
And
the question becomes,
and
how
these
many
2, I was
times
just
does
like, you
3
know
go
what?
into
I'm
20
running
without going
behind.
over? Well,
Sarge
3 goes
is
into
gonna get it.
26 times
It's
without
okay.
going over,
He can
given
do
that 3
long
times 6 is
division. It's
8.
okay. It's all right. No.
So
They
right
showed us
away
on the
we can see
ASVAB.
that
You could do this stuff.
8 over
Come
3
on.
is 2.6 something. Again, I didn't work this out
Well, this
fully,
isn't just for me. I
because
will
have enough
analytically
information
figure
to know
this
that
out. That's not the
2.6
point. I figured out the stone mill.
is
I'll
bigger
figure out
than
the,
2.28.
and I'm doing
So
good.
in
I
other
already
words,
kind of took
8
it
over
once, but
3 is the biggest,
you.
the number with the greatest value.
I've been out of school for quite a while, and never
So
once do
that's
you
that
ever
one.
use this. You'll use a long division every
All right,
once in
number
a while.
7 says, if Manuel deposits 25% of $130 into a savings account,
So divided by
what is
4.
the amount of his deposit?
So that's
So in other words, we want to
3,
figure out what 25%
3
of
with a
130
remainder of
is.
1.
And this right here
So
tells you
3
exactly
point.
what to
or
do.
no.
25% in decimal form is 0.25. In mathematics, of means multiply, and I have a video in which I discuss that.
Ah, well, no,
And
that's
then
fair.
we just 25%, 0.25 in decimal form
That's a
of
trick question-
multiply.
tricky
and then
question thing.
130. Okay?
You
So to
got
figure out what 25% of 130 is, you take 0.25 and you multiply it by 130. Let's go ahead and do that over here.
well. Again, he already
As you can
knows
see,
the
we're
value he
multiplying
deposited.
a whole number
We're
by
looking
a
at the
decimal.
banker and
To
just
make
trying to
this
screw
math
with
a
somebody
little bit
like,
easier, let's get
hey
rid of
now,
this decimal by
25% is what that
shifting it
was.
two places to the right.
He had
So this
$130
becomes
in his
130
hand,
times,
which I obviously knew. Maybe his paycheck was $130 and he wanted to screw with the bank teller that day, and he's like, nah, I want you to take 25% out of this. Now it's on the ASVAB, man.
Decimals, I'll shift them back into the left.
Let's be practical about what these questions really represent, Alice and Bob.
3 times 5, which is 15, so we're going to drop down a 5 and carry a 1. 1 times
Common
5
sense.
is
You know,
5
I would
plus
like to
1
go
is
for
6.
Sears, right?
Before we
You know,
start
I
multiplication
want to go
is 2,
for
we have to bring in a 0.
after basic
2 times
infantry.
0 is 0.
You know, that's what I want. I
2
want
times
basic
3 is
infantry
6.
where I'm be hucking
1
ruck,
times 2
making
is
pallets,
2.
probably
Let's
doing
add these
some
together. 0
combatives
plus
and
0
stuff.
is
But
0.
after basic systems,
5
you're going to be
plus 0
hucking
is
ruck
5.
and doing
6
things.
plus
If they
6
don't
is
just
12. Carry a
immediately,
1.
you do good,
2
hopefully.
plus 1 is 3. Let's bring those 2 decimals back into
And
the
I'm
left
supposed to
now.
figure out.
1, 2. So
I have a tree. There's my banker. I'm trying to put
equivalent to 32.50.
roughly the value. And just to make it easy, we'll say that a nut equals $1,
says, what is,
and I got to put 25% out of 130 into a tree.
And just some simple math here. 1,582
Simple
plus
addition.
761.
3,
2 plus 1 is 3.
7.
8 plus 6
that's
is
13,
so we're going to have to
14.
carry a 1. 7 plus 5 is, well, this is
13,
technically
14.
7 plus 6, so we know that's going to be 13. Carry a 1.
2.
1 plus 1 is 2. So we can see this is 2,343, which is D. Okay, so that's
And I
that
posted it after I did the first time because I was not very
Number 9
happy.
says Yao Ming is making cookies. Each batch of cookies uses 3 eggs. If Yao Ming has 20 eggs, and assuming he has
3
enough
times 5
of
is
the other
15.
ingredients
3
to
times
make
6
cookies,
is
what is the
18.
greatest number
18
of batches that he can make?
21 is
So in
7,
other
so
words,
it's got to be
what
6.
is,
B.
20 divided by 3. So that's going to be 20 divided by 3.
I'd have punch you right in your dick for putting that number like that. You know what I mean?
20.
Like who?
6 times without going over.
Because you would go, all right,
Given that
4.
3
Remember,
times 6 is
3/4 is
20 minus
25%. That's
18
saying
is 2.
3
Again, we have a free
divided
decimal we can bring down
by
as
4
long as
is,
we add
or
a
no, because
decimal
it does
here
turn over.
and
Apparently,
here.
it does magic.
And the question becomes, how many times does 3 go into 20? That's 6 times.
You always
right
get that
now
as
we
a
have
kid,
enough to
right?
answer
You're
this
like,
question.
did I write
He
the
can
fraction
make
right?
6.6 batches.
Did I put it
That is to say, he can make
the right number on
6
top,
full
and you're looking at
batches
it? And remember,
0.6 of
3
another batch.
over
This
4
question wants to know what
is
the greatest
75.
number of full
1 over
batches he can
4
make with
is
those 20
25.
eggs is.
On a tape
That,
measure,
of course,
let me
is
go
gonna
grab
be
a tape
6.
measure.
Okay.
You'll have a quarter, a half, and I mean, as a stonemason and a board guy,
Number
you have to
10
know
says, what is
thicknesses.
the value
You're
of
allowed an 1/8 inch
3.85
margin,
plus
and it's just a
0.004
fundamental check of that inch.
plus,
It's just that. Or if you're running
0.117.
a specific
So in other
one,
words, we
x
wanna add these
equals
3 decimals
inch and a
together.
quarter, inch and the
when I
range.
have to add decimals like this
What is the
together,
value
I'm
of
gonna do
point?
it vertically like this.
All right, so you just line them up.
3.8.
Those 3 go together. This is out front, so you can just do these first.
Numbers such that, I'm gonna line these
7
numbers
and
up such
4
that the decimal
is
places are in
11.
line.
So this would be 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2.
And then finally I have
1.
0.117.
So 1, 2,
In case you
1,
haven't done
1,
this, simple arithmetic
5, 6,
in a
7,
long time, you might be saying to
2,
yourself, well, what do I do
4,
about this blank space
0,
here?
2, 1.
Well, whenever you have a blank space, just throw in a
That was
0.
wrong.
Okay? So with that out of the way, we can simply
So
add
this
these
is
up, and likewise,
11.
we can go
I was
ahead
right
and
about
just drop
that.
down this decimal.
That's
in
1 up
place.
there,
It's not gonna
6,
move
7.
anywhere since we're just doing
right about
simple
that.
addition here.
All right, and so that's 7. That's 9.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
9.
So drop down a
With
1.
a 3 in front, it's got to be
Carry
6.
a 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 8 plus 1 is 9. And 3 plus
Well, you would be writing this
is
stuff
3.
down.
So we can see
It's
that
hard
the
when
answer to
somebody
this
else is
one
writing it for you. And again,
is
that stuff's the easy
3.971.
stuff. It's those fractions where you don't use any of that stuff, or you don't change those
Number
positions
11
around
says,
anywhere
which
in
of the
the real
following
world
is
because
equivalent
your world is
to
so
8
fixed,
over 25.
right? Even
So
and again,
as
even if
we've
you're
seen
jumping
in this
spaces,
video already,
which
to
of the
write
following
a
is equivalent to
fraction
1 over
as a
25?
decimal,
All right, so let's
we
reduce
take that
this. Well, you
fraction
can't really reduce
and
this.
we treat it like long division. Again, fractions can be read
It would be
read as
25
fractions,
divided
either
by 8.
25, or
The
we
only
can read
reason I
this
even
as long
remember that is
division
because that
by
last
reading
one does
it
it.
as 8.
So
divided by 25.
Yeah, because 25 is on the outside. Yeah, that was right. That's how I did picture it in my brain.
Here.
So we can't do that, and we'll have to put a decimal point, a 0.
So I'm going to have to add a decimal and a 0 placeholder here.
And that goes into that.
A couple 0 placeholders in case we need them.
This goes into this. 50, 60, 75. That would be 3 times.
8 can be written as 8.000000.
Okay. 75 would be 3 here, 75. And drop this down. That's a remainder of 5.
All the way to
5. You drop this 0 back down. That goes in that 52. So this is 32.
And now we can disregard the
decimal
32
because the decimal
division bracket, since we accounted for it above the division bracket in our answer. Okay, and we can
I'll do this a couple more times until it's buried in there. Just so I have the which ones are doing which and how to orientate that situation to it. Because this right here, you know, like I said, cosmological collapse, stone mills, cut coefficients. But this stuff right here can make you feel and make you look very bad for no reason other than fundamental failures of things that are very not common.
25 goes into 50.
Tell me where you're going to do that division in McDonald's. Tell me where you're going to do it in the grocery store. Tell me where you're going to do it in the parts store. Tell me where you're going to do it out digging up rock or making corn. If you can show me any real world situation where that's functionable, I could give you an MOS.
Okay, and I do have a video on long division if you need some more help with
a Q25 programmer that needs to design that MOS in Meta.
All right. Number 12 says, what is the
and then you still got to go out there and get the digital or get the actual frames.
Divided by 9. So that's going to look like this in terms of long division. And
okay, so 40.
To start, we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 9 go into 5?
Yeah, 45 is 5. 6 would be 54. 54, so that's 6 with a remainder of
45,
4.
Whereas 9 times 6 is
54. 4 times
9
or 4
times
minus
7
5. So that's 4 with a remainder of 5.
So this is going to
and
be
we want the remainder,
times,
so 5.
Again, 9 times 6 is 54, so we're going to subtract 54 here. 59 minus 54 is going to be 5, and we can drop down this 9 again. Now the question is,
why do you need the remainder?
Does 9 go into 59?
Wouldn't you want the whole number?
Saw that was 6.
Which would be
9 times 6 is 54.
66.
59 minus 54 is
maybe you
5.
need the remainder. It's dollar bills left over after the round off. Because there's one of them in here where they actually do that. It's like, well,
but again, we want to
you have to round up a point, right? So do you round up off the back end and keep going until it's, so if there's 7, that goes 4, because I think that's what it is. It's 7, 3, 6 or something, and they want the 100th position. I think that's the next one, or the one after this.
Where 5 is our remainder. So the answer to this
and you go looking at that, and you go, all right, maybe I could find a process, but why isn't that process freaking worded in the problem? You afraid of wasting ink or digital space?
Inches per minute. The machinist changes this setting to be 6.088 inches per minute. By how much did the machinist increase the feed rate? So for this one, it's going to be a simple case of subtraction. Specifically, we're going to take 6.088 and subtract that by 5.921. As we did
7.
when we added
this would
decimals, we're going to take this decimal and just drop
6,
it down in place.
For sure. Because there's no there, you cross that out, which gets it 0. And for sure.
8 minus 1 is 7. 8 minus 2 is 6. 0 minus 9, we can't
a machine is currently set at feed rate.
This becomes 5.
Fantastic.
This becomes 10 now.
And that's why these are functionable like that, because they're actually functionable. And it's almost impossible to set those other problems up in an analytical way. So why are we using them? So we can just failure-proof some kid in the ground on some technique of a math teacher that wanted some kid to just parrot their ideas, and the parents didn't understand that's what they were doing?
0.075 0.75%.
Go kick some San Francisco freaking teacher council right in the chops.
Okay, so